Yeah, I did join the choir, by the way, in case you didn't know. And that is a journey in and of itself, but that's not today's. All righty. And so that song we will be playing with throughout the whole of my time here this morning. And so I invite you to just hear what I have to share in the energy that we just created of loving ourselves so much. Now, the theme for this month here at CSL Seattle is that love changes everything. And my talk title was Love Changes Everything as We Change with Love. And I was looking to, and when I got invited to speak and I saw the theme, and then the talk title jumped in, and then the song jumped in, all wanting to play. And it was like, okay, so what really am I about today? And if I could go back in time and change the title, I would change it to Love Grants the Space for Change. Love grants the space for change. And please let me know where I might be mistaken, where I'm wrong, because I would love for you to share with me. But I'd truly make that an opening and offering that let me know. I'll be here after service. Come downstairs. We can talk over coffee and cupcakes and some stuff. But I invite you to I'd like for you to just play with me in that journey with that idea that love grants the space for change. So how did I get there? Well, there's some things about me that come into play. Number one is I have this quality that serves me well that I manage to mostly keep under control and not say it too quickly, is that when somebody tosses something out, there's a part of me that goes to, now what? And it's a part of me that I'm very practical about how I approach spirituality and work and life. And so the practical side of me says, okay, that's a great idea, now what? And so with this idea that love changes everything, so I was like, now what? And then it led me into my own journey to say, I get really irritated when somebody starts using words and they think that I know what they mean. And English language is built to do just that. I mean, think about it. How many words get different meanings? And so we love God. God loves us. God created us out of love. And so we love God too. And we love each other. We love this community. And we love pizza. Some of you probably love the Eagles. And I'm not talking about the bird. And some of you love the Chiefs. And yet we can be in the same, we can mostly, I'm losing the crowd, and we can mostly be in the same place in this community. We allow each other to make their choices, whether they're smart or not, on their own. Okay. And so, but when you have a word as big as love, you think there would be some breakdowns, some aspects that we could find. And what came to me was, the Greeks. And thank goodness we have a Greek heritage person here who has been kind enough to serve as my translator. And I apologize in advance for the Greek words that I will probably not get quite right. But the Greeks were like, the Stoics, they did not like words that were messy. They had words that were specific, that covered aspects of love, so you didn't have to figure out what someone was saying. They did that a lot in their language, and it's something, unfortunately, that we did not adopt, and I wish we had. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore love, aspects of love that are showing up through that song. And I'm going to use the Greek words for the aspects of love that match. Because I know if I just read you the list of Greek words, they would be out of your head before I finish the list. So it's just human nature. So we'll have some fun with this. Now, some of these words you all know, and again, if you Google Greek words for love, you can get a long list. I selected the ones that I liked. And one we all know is agape. Agape. That is the big love. That is the unconditional love of the divine. That is the unconditional love that created this world, this universe that we are in. And it's that unconditional love that we operate in and live in and have and move and have our being. That's who we are a product of. That's who we are. That's the big aspect. And then, as we teach, we are each a unique, individualized expression of that one life. So we get the agape love distilled down into and through us. And that's where it gets interesting, because it's how each of us approaches love in its expression. The song, I Love Myself So Much, that first verse, there's the Greek word for that. Now I'm nervous because Eb is doing it, but anyway. Philatia, is the word for self-compassion, self-love. That's the space, the love that will let us be kind to ourselves, to recognize something that's going on, to be in a space of love of ourselves, and to be open to what might be available to us. We love ourselves so much that we can change. My example of that is something I will have I can see it in my mind as clear as the day it happened, and this was pre-COVID, way back. It was sunny in Seattle. I was walking down 7th Avenue near the convention center. See, I was there, and something happened that I realized that the common thing in every one of my relationships was me. And that brought me to a stop on the sidewalk. That awareness, that thing that had triggered inside of me to bring that up to my awareness, got me to the place where I could then step into self-love. And that love created a space for me to say, what's next? What do I do? And it was that part that was able to say, well, you're going back to counseling. But this time you're going back to counseling for you. You're going to get yourself. You're going to develop your understanding of yourself. You're going to learn to love yourself. And that began a journey that let me be who I am today, that let me be the man I wanted to be, so that when I met my sweetheart, Carrie, I could be the man that she needed me to be. But that love, that space had opened up and given me the gift of doing my own work with love. And I'd done counseling without the love part before. This was different. This self-love, this Greek aspect of love is something that we just sang and we can claim anytime we want to, all of these words. It's in that self-work that we do, the loving ourselves, that we can then express out and begin to love someone else. We begin to love others. And the song, we have that as the verse. It's, I love myself so much that I can love you so much. What that's way of saying is, I can love you just like you are. I know who I am. I can love you just as you are. That's the kind of love I can give you. The word for that is, and again, it's philia. Close enough. Philia. Philadelphia, brotherly love. It's that love of, it's the love of the other. It's the love that respects and creates friendships and doing things together. It's a love that goes beyond ourselves and welcomes someone else. It's a love that we get to use agape love with sometimes, that even if we can't really love that person, we can let God love through us. And so we let this aspect of love inform how we do friendships and groups. Because then we move in, I think philia allows us then to move into a love that it's called pragma. It's the love where the love hits the road kind of thing. This is the love where we actually start working with it. This is the love that happens in groups and communities where we begin to align in ideas. Like this community is coming together and aligning to create a world that works for everyone, to create a better world. And we know that part of doing that is taking care of others. So our pragma love hits the road in what's called the Super Bowl. We are... Hey, it's the Super Bowl. I'm from the South. Some of our words run together a little bit. But Super Bowl, where we are getting food in various ways, from bringing it to buying it to sharing from our abundance, but we are creating a space where we can channel energy, can channel love. This is not money and food. This is love that is flowing through us as money and food to feed those who need our help. That's pragma. It takes the love, the agape, distills it down through us and turns it into action on earth. That's the power that comes when we understand that aspect of love and can claim that aspect. It moves into communities where we can be supported. Because as we go from just by ourselves to a friend, we begin to add layers of support. Then we can open to both giving and receiving. We can move into community here in a bigger way where we have all ways that we can support beyond things like the food drive. That way you won't get confused of what I'm saying. And we also have over 60 practitioners who are ready to be in prayer support for you. This community is all about practicing pragma and philia love in support of our community. Frankly, I think that prayer box ought to be full after every service, either in celebration or request. It's because that's our practitioners wanting to support us. And we have programs, small groups around here. I'm fortunate enough that I get to be the leader of our men's group here at the center. And I'm so grateful that they let me lead this group because I get so much out of it. It's such a gift to share with a group of men our journeys in exploring the divine masculine and supporting each other. And the main thing about our group, and I come in every month, I've got an agenda, I've got a program, but the first thing on the program is, if anyone needs support today, that's to the side, and we are here for you. And I know that if you came in here and you got a practitioner and grabbed one of them and just said, I need a prayer, I need some support, they would laser in on you and be there for you. That's the kind of love that we're using here in this community to support ourselves, support the community. When we move into that kind of expansive love, we can then look to the world. And again, you notice I changed the words in the song. The world, and say, how can I love the world? How can I get big enough to love the world so that the world can love itself? That I have to go back to agape. I'm human. God, I can't. There's some crazy, I'm having trouble. God, love through me with that unconditional love so that I can hold the world in that unconditional love. Because I believe, I know I do, I want a world that can love that way. I think it's possible, but it's not going to be done without the divine and about us understanding ourselves and how we love. My humanness gets in the way, and I have to go back to my divine. And I encourage that to be part of your practice. In working with the aspects of love, What I know from my own experiences there is that there's the experience of the love, and then there's the expressing of it. Both sides. We get to do both. Thank you, God. We get to play on both sides of that. That we get the experience of the love that's in this community. We get the experience of the love of Tommy as he sings. That is pure love coming through him. And we get to experience it. We also get to express in our own unique ways our love for our friends here and in this community. And it's that giving and receiving is receiving the experience that we open to and let Tommy's love come through in the song. Or you might let what I'm sharing come through in the love from this message that we experience, and then and accept that love and turn it into our own expression of love that we let go back out. And I also want to mention, it was going to be a little earlier, anybody ever tried to love somebody into their good? Yeah, this happens a lot in familial love, family love, parent-child. That's me and a son. Where, storge? Close enough? Yeah. The Greek word for that love. And what I learned, see, the beauty of the love and the divine is that I tried to love my son so much that I thought I knew everything he needed to know and that he should do. Yeah, I heard that. And what I learned, and I'm the one who changed. That's the beauty of knowing that there's more to love. That I changed through my trying to pour so much love onto him. It ended up changing me. And I also know that love made a difference. I still love my son. I'm still present, and we're doing, he's working things out. And I love him, and I know how to love him better now. And it wasn't just overwhelming love. It was love as he could accept it. And so we learn in this dance of love as we can get clear and know that there are aspects that we can choose how much we want. This is all I can take today. Sorry, that's it. Or this is all I have to give today. But I'm still here. I'll be there for you. So we get to use this understanding of love and move out of the love that's too big to understand to the love that works in our lives. Now, how do we do that? Well, guess what? There are spiritual practices. I like spiritual practices. And I'm going to give you a shortcut practice, and it's blessing. How many times have you tried to make a prayer and you just could not figure out what to pray for? Okay, you could have been healed. Or you want to know something for a friend. You've got somebody you want to say a prayer for, and you not sure. And what I offer you to consider is choose blessing instead. Let God, let Spirit, let the divine handle the details, and you go to the place of blessing and just bless the person that you care for. I do that as a practice every morning. I go through a list. I bless family. I bless friends. I bless this community every morning. I bless the ministers here. As I was getting ready for this morning, I know I was blessing all who are participating. I don't have to do the details because I trust that the agape love, that is the powerful love, is going to move through that blessing that I send out to meet each person exactly where they need to be met, that they experience this day in the way that serves them. And blessing is when it allows us to just simply, you can give more blessings than you can ever do with prayers. Get them out. It's more important to get it out to me than it is to worry about form and content. So I bless across this country, and I bless, it takes a while. You find your right path. But blessing is a simple, easy way to make a difference in the world. We bless our country. And so the other is, when we're in the self-care mode, the first aspect, I would say, the self-love, self-compassion, do that as a spiritual practice. Take care of yourself. You can do so much more for your friends and for others and for the world when when your tanks are full, when you are in your self-care place. By doing that, we are making ourselves a gift to the world. Be selfish and do self-care. It's for the good of all. That's a spiritual practice I encourage you to look at. The other is support. Use what's available. Again, the prayer box, the prayer circles, the practitioners with their stoles, the ministers, your friends, the men's group. Be willing to ask for and to give support. In the men's group, we do ask that if you want support, you tell us. Don't make us try and figure it out. Let us know so that we can truly support. Be willing to ask, be willing to give. That builds a spiritual practice that lifts you, lifts the other person, lifts all of you, all that are around you. And finally, this is an Emmett Curtis Hopkins spiritual practice. Look for the evidence. Be aware of what you have prayed for or blessed or what's going on in your life and love. And just be aware, take note. By being aware when I had the enlightenment moment on 7th Avenue, I was able to take a next step. I could ask the question. I could pause and say, okay, now what? Or what now? But I have to allow that awareness to be part of my receiving and being engaged in love and in this life. And so I want us to practice the song one more time. We're not going to sing it. We're going to say the words. And we're going to do this together. So the words are going to come back up on the screen. I invite you to stand. We do this in choir. It's a way to really know the music, know the song. And we're going to sing, we're going to say the words together and do the movements. One time through. You ready? Yes. Okay. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that we can love our son so much, that they can love them so much, that they can start loving me. When we love ourselves so much that we can love the world so much, that the world can love itself so much, that the world can start loving all. And that's also our closing prayer. And so it is.